Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop, about to hit the thrift store, and you're coming with me. Let's go.
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Well, folks, I can tell you they are cranking the music in here this morning, so I don't know. I may have to cover it up with some of my own tunes. We'll see. I really don't know until I get the thing home and actually produce the video, do all the editing work, and then I can see how loud the music is in the backdrop. And if it's too loud, then I have to play music over top of it because I'll get in trouble. So, keeping that in mind, I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking right now. I'm just going to let you spy what I spy. You know what? I just saw this pattern in a book last night, and I cannot. It's something good, and I know that pattern. What is that? Doggone it! When you have all these patterns floating around in your brain, you can't bring them to the surface. But it's something good. I know it. Yeah, it was in one of my books I was looking at last night. Not seeing anything here, so we're going to spin around and look on the other side. Doggone it. And it's turned purple. A slight purple tint because it's been in the sun. I'm going to take a picture of that, and then when I go home, I'll look it up. Okay. It's a pretty one. All right. What are my colors? Yellow and green and yellow. Green and yellow. We're looking for especially green and yellow today. Those are going to be my sale prices. Green and yellow. Now look at this. What could this be? It's very heavy glass. Very heavy glass. It's that smoky color again. But you can sometimes be fooled by this stuff. Let me turn it upside down. I see some considerable wear on the bottom of it, but I just don't know. Could that be a 1930s piece of Art Deco smoked glass or smoke glass? Or was it sold yesterday at Marshall's? I'm going to come back and take a closer look at that in a few minutes. Okay, but that's not one of the good old ones from the 60s, I don't think. All right, there's my Easter flowers. Turn the corner here. Oh, there's my first baby. Well, not my baby. You know what I'm saying. Can you hear the baby? Bless the little heart of that poor little thing. He's probably sleepy. Oh, yeah. Let it rip. Let it rip, little baby. All right, all right, all right, all right. Now, when I look down an aisle like this, the first thing I look for are key colors. I'm looking for key colors of depression glass and key colors of anything 40s, 50s, 60s. And I immediately don't see any of my signature colors. Green with uranium or pink depression or popular colors of the 60s. I don't see any of that. But what I usually do is after I do the walking and the talking, then I'll go back over it again, a second time with the camera off, and that way I can look a little bit closer. Because believe it or not, it takes a lot of coordination to walk, talk, and think. And I have an open coffee right here in my cart, as you can see. So it does take a little bit of coordination. Notice I didn't say talent. Now I do see Anchor Hocking's Ruby Red, and not all red is Anchor Hocking, but that's a Hocking shape right there in the little Ruby Red glasses. And as you know, I just bought 16 of the green ones. I've already sold 8. I've got one set of 8 green left, so I may come back and look and see if I can pick up a set of 8 in red. Okay, we're seeing some typical stuff here. Some some Franciscan. And that's the microwavable. That's the newer Franciscan. And that looks like some Homer Laughlin over there from the 40s. I see these everywhere I go as well, and I don't buy them because there's not a whole lot of value. Anchor Hocking, of course, made a whole bunch of those. Divided plates into egg plates as well. Okay, that's not old. That's either Mexico or France. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think. So that's not Depression era. There's a wannabe Flow Blue gravy boat, but even before we turn that upside down, I'm not getting the feeling that that's old. Fairly certain that it's not. Now remember, I love the 20s into the 60s, so once again, especially if you're new to the channel, you're going to see me passing by things that are modern, that have value, and I just am not interested and don't really have any knowledge to buy and sell those items. So that's the reason why I pass them by. This ice bucket butt. No. Okay. Piece of Depression. That particular piece is not a big deal. I do love these pressed glass cake plates, elevated cake plates, or pedestal cake plates. I like those a lot. That's cute. Isn't that cute? What is it? The rat takes the cheese? No, the mouse takes the cheese. Farmer in the Dell? All right, I'm not going to try to do nursery rhymes this early in the morning. Okay, we've turned the corner. Come on. We're going to find something on this aisle. Something good. I'm not in the mood to buy something for $2 and sell it for $3. I want to buy something for $2 today and sell it for $50. I'm feeling greedy. Well, all right, nothing quite yet. No. Oh, there's the little, oh, for Pete's sake. Daisy and... I always forget this, and I've sold it before. What is it? Daisy and pineapple? That's not right. In amber glass. Oh, I can't remember what you call that. Depression piece. No, isn't this Indiana? Daisy and pineapple? I don't know, I forget. I'll tell you later. I forget. This also is this is a piece of Falstoria, and it's in the blank is called Baroque. So that's the shape, that's the mold of the glass. The pattern on there, I don't know the pattern, something wispy looking. But that's definitely a Falstoria blank called the Baroque pattern. Baroque blank. And this is actually on sale today. I think this is 33% off, so I'm going to consider that. It wouldn't quite be the moneymaker that it would have been before 2008, but it's still a nice piece of Falstoria. Oh, come on, let's find some Art Deco. No, it's not happening yet. Okay, I'm gonna whip it on around here and go back the other direction. I'm not interested in this plastic stuff. Now, was there anything over here? No. No. Well, surprise, surprise, surprise. You didn't think that you were going to get to see a thrift haul. Actually, I didn't know I was going to do one either, but here it is. Now, everything is listed in the old Curiosity Shop right now. Just listed it this morning, and they're all going to run at 7-day auctions. I think. Is that right? Is everything here at a 7-day auction, or did I do a buy it now on some of the... You know, I think everything that you see here is running at auction. I think. I think. I might have done a buy it now price on the salt and pepper shakers. I don't remember. So, well, if you go on and you don't see something, that means I listed it as a buy it now and someone bought it. But honestly, I'm not trying to be tricky. That's my brain and I can't remember. But most everything here is listed at auction. Some of it you have seen and some of you haven't. So let's just dive right in there. You did see this little Nippon spoon holder. And let me just show you that it does hold standard teaspoons, and they go in there like that. You can do them crisscross like that, and that's how that works. You could stack several more in there, probably about 6 to 8. Okay, this is Noritake, and this dates to 1925 to 1935, probably the 30s. It's lusterware, and we'll see the mark on the bottom. Okay, you've all seen that before. It's in excellent condition. It's not even hardly worth mentioning that just on the tip of the underside of the tail, and you can't even see it, it's so tiny that I can't get my camera to focus on it. But right under here, right under there, which it's not focusing, is a tiny, tiny, let's see, let's try it. That's okay. Anyway. Maybe this will help. Hold on, let's try it again. Okay, see, you can't, right there, can you barely see it? It's just this tiniest little flea bite right there that you don't really even see. Okay, so really nice lusterware. That's a little bit of wear right there on the lusterware, but for the most part, great. No other chips or cracks or any damage in that. And then this piece is made in Austria. It's not hand painted, it's a decal, but it's, you know, it's porcelain, and I don't always buy things like this, but this I bought because it's so delicate, and it deserved to be saved. There's not a chip on it. And this is almost paper thin, and if we put it up to the light, we can see right through it. Okay. So you know what that means in terms of the quality of the china, of the porcelain. And again, as I said, it's not hand painted, it's a decal, but it's beautifully done, and I guess you could do whatever you want with that. Oh, let you see the back of it. It says Star, made in Austria. Okay, so just after the turn of the century probably is when that was made. The Little Japan salt and pepper shakers, which aren't actually that little, they're 5 inches tall. And so they're probably from a range set. So there was probably a grease jar and other pieces that went with it. So they are 5 inches tall. They're nice and big. They are cold painted, and as we all know, red comes off very easily. And if you remember these from the thrift haul, you'll see there's a little more paint loss than you saw. That's because I did clean these. Now these were covered with a nice, wonderful sticky coating of somebody's kitchen grease. And I'm not going to ship this out to anybody with sticky kitchen grease on it. So I did have to very gently wipe these off with a damp cloth, and a little bit more of the paint came off. Now understand that the paint doesn't chip off. Like, see, I'm scratching it with my nail and it's not chipping off. But if this gets wet, the paint will come off. Now if you'll notice on the back, this is where Goodwill put their stickers, and I had to use, the stick. Once you get the stickers off, there's still all that adhesive. In fact, you can still see I left some of the adhesive on right there. See it? No matter what you do, and I have gum off, goop off, I've got all kinds of solvents, anything liquid that you do to this, you're going to remove some of the paint. But anyway, having said all that, they're clean, and they make a really nice display. There are no chips or cracks. They're probably made in Japan, but the stickers are gone, and they're just really cool. You've seen this swan back here, this multicolored swan made in Japan, a mid-century piece. 1930s, 40s, 50s, somewhere in that. That's a planter, and also no chips or cracks on that. There's the Royal Copley puppy dog at the mailbox, which I you've already seen. And they're nice shiny glaze on that, and there are no chips or cracks on him either. The U.S. mail. Is it marked Royal Copley? No. But when you get to know Royal Copley, I mentioned in the other video Royal Copley colors. It's not so much colors as it is and I'm not an artist, so I don't know if it's the hue of the color or the tone of the color or the feel of the color, but there's something about a Royal Copley piece you can just tell. And you can also tell by the ridges on the bottom. He might be listed as a buy it now, so I honestly just can't remember, so anyway. And then this is also sort of a matte finish, mid-century duck. I guess he's a mallard, or she. There's no damage on this. There's the paper label of Made in Japan. Really nice airbrushed. I like the soft colors on this. Do you? Or don't you? I do. So, just reminds me of autumn for some reason. I don't know, but I guess he's a mallard. I'm not, what do I know about ducks? And then finally, everybody was screaming, sell that checkered teapot, creamer and sugar. All right, I'm going to sell it. Here it is. So what you get is a covered sugar bowl, the creamer, the teapot with the lid, and a matching trivet, which is fantastic to have on the bottom. There are no chips on any of it. The only damage are a couple of cracks in the creamer, and they're really... Well, this is, what am I trying to say? Crazing of the glaze, that's a matter of opinion. I don't consider it damage. You see it on almost everything from this era. It just is. So the nice thing about it is that nothing on here is stained. Sometimes when glaze gets crazed like that, you'll get coffee stains and whatnot in it, but there's no staining on it. But you will see two pesky little, there's one. Okay, do you see that? That's not like a horrible crack where I think somebody dropped this and it cracked. It's more or less just a stretch crack. It does go all the way through, but when I gently ping this with my thumb, and I'm not going to do that right now, you don't get that rattle or there's a certain noise you get when a crack is bad. A really, really tight crack, you won't hear anything. But it's there, and there's another one, I think, on this, somewhere over, right there. See the little one? So this doesn't really affect, this isn't really affecting it's not near the handle, so I think we're okay as far as the integrity of this. You could still use this and not worry about it, but I want you to know that those little cracks are in there, but there are no chips anywhere. And I'll let you see the teapot is nice and clean on the inside. It's nice to have that little, whatever that is, that keeps the lid from falling out when you tip it over. And you'll see the inside of it is nice and clean for those of you who want to use this. And I hope if you buy it, you'll use it. No chips at the spout. Marked checkers on the bottom, and Japan, and a matching trivet, which is, can you imagine that these would get probably separated and broken, so it's fun to have that. Now, here's a lesson. What does this date to? Well, if I didn't know when it was manufactured and I told everybody, hey everybody, when was this manufactured? A lot of you would Google it and come back and say, oh, it was made in the 60s. Well, because it's erroneously listed in many places, both on Etsy and on eBay, as being a 1960s pattern. This actually was made in the 1930s, and it appears in the Sears and Roebuck catalog in the spring of 1937. Let me come back to that in a minute. But why are people saying the 60s? Well, someone just gets it wrong, and then a lot of people just Google things and they cut and paste. You've got to do your research, and everything that you see on the net is not accurate, as you well know. So this, even if we didn't have the Sears and Roebuck catalog, we can tell from the bottom and from the colors and the form and everything that it's not a 1960s tea set or coffee set, that it's from the late 30s. Now I'm going to include a picture right here. Okay, what you're looking at, this is a photograph from the Sears and Roebuck catalog, and this is the spring, I believe the spring of 1937. My former college roommate was going through a 1938 book and sent me a picture of it and said, look, your tea set is in the 1938 catalog, and I lost the picture that he sent me. So I had to go digging through a 1937 catalog, and we see it there as well. So did it appear in 1936? I don't know, but I know it's in the 1937 and the 1938 Sears and Roebuck catalog. And in one of the pictures, it actually does refer to it as checkers plaid. So you'll see it says plaid, but also it refers to the back stamp, which says checkers on it. So it's interesting to look at this old ad. You can see some of the different pieces you can get and some of the prices from the Depression era. Okay, so now back to the kitchen counter, and there it is, all for sale in the old curiosity shop. The link to the store is below. All right, I've got more listing to do, and I need to get busy because I have not done any listing in a few days, nor have I done very many videos. So I have a lot of things I want to get ready for you. And I want to thank you for watching and hoping you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. This is Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching and so long for now.